This week in the parish of Bourses and market structure, UZEX ETD NASDAQ Institute launches alongside the SpaceX IPO, predicting what exactly, and there's a brace of hypocrisy. My name is Patrick L. Young. Welcome to the Bourse Business Weekly Digest. It's the Exchange Invest Weekly Podcast, episode 350. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very brief reduction of highlights amongst the key headlines from the week in market structure. All the analysis of the many events and happenings from the past 7 days can be found in Exchange Invest Daily Subscriber Newsletter, the unique guide to the Bourse business, sent daily to your inbox. More details at exchangeinvest.com. Over in bit carnage, tears but not total losses, as major crypto exchanges were forced to cancel SpaceX allocations, promising refunds but drawing an inelegant line under what has long been our concern. There are huge counterparty problems in just offering tokenized stocks willy-nilly. If you enjoyed this excerpt, you may be interested to know you can read BitCarnage every day in Exchange Invest. Alternatively, if you want to follow BitCarnage, the daily update on happenings in the world of crypto and digital assets, you can find BitCarnage as a standalone on Substack. Top stories this week in the world of exchanges, long discussed but now confirmed. UZEX, the Uzbekistan Exchange, is working to launch its futures market. Early partners include, amongst others, a leading Asian futures broker. Meanwhile, NASDAQ have launched their Economic Institute, creating a dedicated platform for original research on the most critical issues shaping the financial ecosystem. That was in the same week they smoothly launched SpaceX, the world's largest ever IPO listing. As the CME also announced the launch of NASDAQ CME Crypto Index Futures, putting yet more of the crypto futures market centrally traded off-chain. There are new proposed CFTC rules for prediction markets, albeit the prediction markets themselves have not been overly coherent in and around the US in truly writing simple product specs. More on that in the Exchange Invest Daily Bulletin, of course. You can subscribe now at exchangeinvest.com, catch a 7-day free subscription. In a double dose of hypocrisy, the ASX has admitted it misled the market about the chess upgrade and gets a $20 million Australian traffic violation. While Germany, equally in the centre of hypocrisy, undermines the ESMA regulatory centralisation push on market structure with a simply pathetic move, even given their base history of protectionist nonsense, which calls into clear question whether EU solidarity truly exists. DB1 proclaims itself a minor local entity, which must surprise even the most Frankfurt-centric management at UZEX in Eschborn or Clearstream in Luxembourg. Meanwhile, NSE IPO is advancing in India and in Canada. TMX have acquired a hefty wodge of assets under management to add to their indexing business. Thanks for listening to Exchange Invest Weekly. We welcome your feedback. You can contact me directly, patrick@derivativesvision.com, with any comments. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed this show, we would welcome you giving us a thumbs up. Or, if you have time, a positive review will always be welcome, wherever you find this podcast. Elsewhere in exchanges, FanDuel owner Flutter, their delisting from the London Stock Exchange. Now they're comfortably listed in New York. A FTSE 100 former member moving away from the UK's hemorrhaging stock exchange, an arm of that paralysed data enterprise, the LSEG. The Philippine Stock Exchange, they're joining CDP as the first stock exchange capital market signatory to that particular carbon initiative. No results this week, but in new markets, several new venues. The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange have got the nod to establish a small business exchange. The CSE is aiming to launch the country's first commodity exchange this year in Chittagong. And Profitex, having started originally in the UK, they're now US-based with CFTC approval to operate America's first federally regulated sports native exchange. As I mentioned at the top of the show, deals were exciting this week. The NSE IPO in India is looking set to advance. Draft papers likely probably by the time you've been listening to this podcast. And TMX Group have announced an acquisition. They're buying RAFI indices from research affiliates. That gives TMX the opportunity to to launch its index platform centered upon VettaFi, giving VettaFi assets under management a lift from around $81 billion to $263 billion. Don't forget, we still have 7-day week publishing. That's been a recent addition to Exchange Invest. Our Sunday supplement is now available on a Sundays, giving us a full 7-day week platform Monday through Fridays, paying subscribers only. That's the insider of the Bourse business. And over the weekend, some rather elegant macro reads, including a great expose into beer this week. Don't forget, you can also catch the back numbers of our live stream podcast. They are available on IPO-VID's live show channel. Catch the Becca episodes on LinkedIn and YouTube via searching IPO-VID. Our book of the week in the beer theme is Ale, Beer and Brewsters in England, Woman's Work in a Changing World by Judith M. Bennett, asking how, when and why brewing ceased to be women's work and instead became a job predominantly for men. Product news, lots happening. The AI IPO boom is coming in the wake of the successful listing of SpaceX, OpenAI, amongst others. Perplexity coming next year, and also the good folks of Anthropic, all looking to list in the course of the next year. The CME, they've expanded to 24/7 trading for very, very small retail-focused WTI crude oil and gold contracts. Not quite perpetual futures, but cut down retail-centric cash-settled entities, which will trade all day and all night, 7 days a week. Liquidity squeezes of a Sunday afternoon coming, anybody? In technology, ICE have launched AI-powered fixed-income pre-trade analytics for buy-side investors. NASDAQ Verifin have announced the expansion of their agentic AI workforce, transforming how financial institutions fight financial crime. And courtesy of a link in this week's Exchange Invest, there was an excellent guide to prediction market technology from the leaders in supplying third-party technology to prediction markets across the USA, Connemara EP3. Zero shock from the NASDAQ annual meeting of shareholders, returning all the candidates. Adina Friedman as chair of the board, with various elected board members, including former TMX CEO Thomas Clowett. Hester Pierce has been bowing out of the SEC during the course of this month, and CryptoMum is heading for the exit with some valedictory remarks at the US Chamber of Commerce Capital Markets Summit this week. Over in Big World, no UK government of multiple political persuasions has managed to balance the books in 25 years. The UK government is spending more than £100 billion, that's $130+ billion, on servicing debt. That's more than the UK currently spends on education or defence. And on that mysterious and magnificent note, thank you for listening to this EI Weekly Podcast number 350. Join us daily via exchangeinvest.com, or if you have any exchange you like built, get in touch. My name is Patrick L. Young, and I wish you a great week in life and markets.
This show relates to the business of Bourses. It is not to be construed as investment advice, nor are we making any investment recommendations. Please consult an investment advisor before you make any investments, and for goodness sake, do your due diligence and do not make investments without complying with the regulations in your home state. Exchange Invest cannot be held responsible for any investment decisions made as a result of our program, which is for entertainment purposes only. The material herein is copyright Patrick L. Young at the date of publication, while our music and sound effects are sourced from copyright-free sources. Thanks for listening to Exchange Invest Weekly, the exchange of information.